These commuters are the lucky ones. Trains across France were heavily disrupted on Monday, on the fourth day of strike action. Trade unions say the government is refusing to negotiate, and they're standing firm on plans to bring France to a virtual standstill until the end of June.
Of course it annoys people, and we don't strike to amuse ourselves. It's high time the government listened to our complaints and heard the discontent caused by this reform.
They do have some sympathy from the French. Surveys show public opinion split 50-50, and a crowdfunding appeal for striking train drivers has raised €500,000. The voice of French unions has traditionally resonated loudly in the corridors of power. This is normally the busiest railway station in Europe, but on strike days like this, just one train in 5 is running. The ability of train drivers to create this kind of disruption means previous French governments have always backed down when faced with a railway strike. But Emmanuel Macron is trying to prove he will face down the unions, even when they can mobilise tens of thousands onto the streets. It's a difficult balancing act, since the French may soon start to blame their government for the travel chaos.
Quelque part, ce conflit l'arrange.
In a sense, this conflict suits Macron. It allows him to show he's got political drive, and he will follow reforms through to the end, where his predecessors didn't, where they pulled back. So some conflict suits him, and he doesn't want it to end too soon. But he doesn't want to see France totally blocked, because then he'd be forced to back down.
It's not just train drivers who are striking. Students have blockaded their universities for weeks in protest against plans to reform the entrance criteria for higher education. The government's big fear is that these separate campaigns could merge into one protest movement. And as France prepares to mark the 50th anniversary of the May 1968 protests, which also started with a train strike, that the French may be in a revolutionary mood once again. Elena Casas, TRT World, Paris.